It's Saturday and it's a very wet Saturday. So the two bikes that I promised that we're going to have a look at are the new Orbea Orca and the brand new 2023 Orbea Rise mountain bike. Two bikes well worth a feature. So let's have a look at the Orca and the Rise. So here we are. This is the Orbea Rise. Orbea launched this model in 2020. And this is designed as the very much the lightweight e-mountain bike. You have a couple of battery options. You've got a 540 watt hour battery, which this model has, and you can also spec it with a 360. The carbon model with a 360 watt hour battery comes in at under 16 kilos, which is an incredible weight really for a full suspension bike, let alone an e-bike. At under 16 kilos. This has the 540 watt hour battery and is the aluminium frame, so a little bit heavier, just under 20 kilos. But even the aluminium frame looks stunning with the polished welds. It looks very much like the carbon frame. So as I say, a couple of battery options. They come with the EP8, the RS EP8, which is an Orbea designed drive pack in conjunction with Shimano. And on this model, this is the 2023 model. They've tidied up a few little things really. The power button used to sit down on the crank, and that's I think that caused one or two problems. So that's been moved, and the linkage system has been redesigned as well, much easier to work on, and also hides a little 4-piece toolkit as well, which is really cool. As I say, they've redesigned a lot of things, and the power button has now moved up to the remote on the handlebar. I think it's the N600 is the remote, which does everything you need to know really. They've really tried to avoid any kind of other distractions when you're riding, so everything is here. You've got your assist levels, your battery levels, and as I say, your power button. If you want more information, you can link it to your Garmin, you can link it to a Garmin watch, you can add the Shimano screen, or you can run the Shimano Run app on your mobile. So there's a few options if you really want that kind of more information as you're riding. This is the H30, this is the aluminium H30, so this runs Shimano Dior 12 speed. It runs Fox Float Performance rear shock and a Marzocchi Z2 fork. This comes tubeless ready, so you've got the Orbea wheels, this has got Maxxis dissected tyres. This has been set up for a customer, so this has been set up tubeless already with some nice muck-off gold valves to finish it off, and also with some really cool dirty pedals. So yeah, just simply a stunning bike. So this 2023 bike retails at $4,999. We've currently got a 2022 bike on offer at $4,500. And it's essentially the same model, the H30, but from 2022. But as I say, the 2023, they've made some really nice little improvements. So that is the Orbea Rise. It is probably one of the best lightweight e-mountain bikes we've ridden. If you're looking for a lightweight e-mountain bike that feels super smooth, then this is your bike. If you wanted something with a little bit more power, with Bosch drive system, then the full power or the full fat bike from Orbea is the Wild, which is an equally stunning e-mountain bike. But certainly from a lightweight point of view, as I say, that at under 16 kilos, then the Rise, really there's no need to look any further. Just one other thing to mention, that Orbea this year on a lot of bikes you are using their own components. You've got an OC dropper, an Orbea handlebar stem system. They've really tried to keep control of availability, the design, and also the quality of all the finishing kit. So you'll see a lot of OC components. The Rise is very much the trail bike, and the Wild is very much the enduro bike. And you've also got the Uran as well, which is the hardtail version. If you're looking for kind of just a sporty hardtail mountain bike as well, that's also worth a look. And also cable routing. The aluminium model is pretty neat actually at the front end, but the carbon version comes with a fully integrated cable routing that goes down through the stem which is very, very neat. So again, that is the Rise, the trail bike, and as I say, the other two are the Wild, the Enduro bike, and the brand new Orbea Orca is finally here. Quite a few changes on last year's Orca. Orbea have gone for performance and weight, really as the big changes from last year. The design has changed to accommodate it. Orbea really believe that to try and design a road bike that's both aero and light ultimately means you end up with a bike that's neither super aero or super light. So on this bike they've really concentrated on weight and performance. So the frame has changed quite a bit. Going back to a traditional seat stay means that essentially they can use a lot less, maybe not quite as aero, but certainly can use an awful lot less carbon. The carbon layup of this bike uses way less pieces of carbon essentially, which means they also use a lot less resin, which is one of the several ways that they save weight. The tube profiles are super thin, you can see from the top tube and the seat stays as well, for compliance. And they have what they call the power spline, which essentially is that chain stay through the bottom bracket and up the down tube, which is where all the stiffness comes from. So it's really all about weight. This is the Orca M30i. So this is uses the OMR carbon. It's worth noting there's two types of carbon that they use on the new Orca, an OMR and the lighter OMX. The OMX frame comes in at about 745 grams, so it's super light, whereas the OMR is 200 or 300 grams heavier, at just over 1,000. And this is the M30i. So the M30i uses the OMR carbon frame, comes with 105 Di2 and the Aqua, the new Aqua wheels from Orbea, the aluminium rims. You can also have, actually just on that note, as I think I mentioned on a few bikes, they are now using an awful lot of their own components, the OC components, so whether it's the carbon seat stay, the carbon seat post, the stem handlebar, and a really nifty new way of clamping the seat post as well on the new Orca. So a lot of Orbea's own components, so they can control the quality, availability, and essentially the whole design of the bike. And one thing I love about Orbea is, obviously, if you want the 105 Di2 version, you're not limited to this colour or this spec. In actual fact, with their Myo system, you can have this bike in two other colours, really cool colours, a blue and a white. And you've also got the Myo option where you can custom design the whole bike. You can have it with whatever groups that you want. You can have it with whatever wheels you want. So this bike retails at $3,599 as it stands, but if you want it with carbon wheels, that adds about $1,000 to the price, but pretty much is available in any group set and with either frame option. So it is a really super bike, and as I say, super lightweight. Total weight of this bike I think comes in at just over 8 kilos, whereas the OMX frame with the various group sets, I think they're down to around 6.5 kilos. 6.6 kilos I think is the lightest complete bike in the range. So that is the new Orbea Orca. Come down and have a look. That's us for today. Hope you enjoyed that. Any questions, give us a shout. If you want to pop down and have a look, obviously by all means do. Part one of the team are heading up to the UCI World Championships in Glasgow. Sue's up there as a volunteer for the next week, so we're hoping to get plenty of pictures from her. I think that's us for today. Have a great weekend. Look forward to the better weather next week, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.